there, warm welcome. You're watching Blueprint Explosive Exclusive and I'm Meghna Deka. Well, viewers, we ask you a simple question. Is it fair to say only if you have a spot of parking can you buy a car? Is it fair on those who perhaps cannot afford to buy a spot of parking but can afford a car, but they wouldn't be allowed to? Because remember, one of the biggest problems that urban India has been facing is that of parking. People literally kill for a spot of parking. It's harder to get a spot of parking than it is for people to afford a car, isn't it? And in fact, just a few days back, remember, in Nashik of Maharashtra, there was a quarrel. There was a quarrel which broke out over a parking spot in a housing society. Unfortunately, that led to murder. You can see these visuals there. This is our visuals coming in of residents clashing with each other over a parking spot. And you can see how it's led to fisticuffs. This is a story coming in from Noida. This visual will show what exactly people are capable of doing when it comes to the parking spot. And this happened in September last year. But before that, let me also tell you what exactly had happened in other places as well, because it's, remember, not just in Uttar Pradesh, in Delhi, across length and breadth of India. Let's tell you what happened in Nashik. In Nashik too, there was a fight over a parking spot. Let's show you what happened. Well, did you see that man vandalize a car with his bat just over a parking spot? Now, let's get you this visual as well. This one is coming in from the national capital, Delhi, in July just last year. In 2023, you have residents clashing over a parking spot, and you can see how all of this has led to mayhem, where this man attacks another one with a stick. Yes, that's right. All of this again over a parking spot. Watch this. So as we just showed you, there is a huge fight for parking. There are stories coming in almost daily because of an increase in the number of cars in the country, for people having more money accessible to them. Now, car no longer is a luxury, it has become a necessity. But what about the parking woes? Because it doesn't mean that there is more spots for parking. In fact, there has been such rapid urban development that parking spots have really been reducing. Maharashtra government has now decided to come up with a solution for this traffic woes. In fact, they've come up with a policy which they are thinking of implementing very soon, which is about vehicle registration only when you give proof that you have a spot to park your car. So essentially, you'll have to show that you have a parking spot. Only then will they allow you to buy a car. So I want to ask you, should your city also have a policy such as this, which is coming up in Maharashtra? Also, if this transport minister would like to clarify as to whether this is feasible, because remember, let's quickly tell you what exactly are the pros and cons of it. What is the aim for it? For example, that is to ease the traffic congestion. But will that really help? Let's also tell you what the pros and the cons are. The rationale behind all of this is in 2024, there are 29 lakh cars which need to decongest. So let's tell you what the pros are. There you have it on your screens. There's a need to regulate the number of vehicles when it comes to it, which is why this is a good one. Also, this will ease the traffic congestion, especially in crowded cities such as Mumbai, Delhi, Bengaluru, which perhaps seen one of the worst. Also get spots in public parking lots that is available. So that's one of the options which is available as well. Park at home and not on the roads. That's going to be the biggest incentive if this Maharashtra proposal is pushed through. But then again, what are the cons? Let's take you through the cons as well. Here are the cons on your screen. There's no short-term solution for this chaos. Only in the long run, perhaps, there's going to be a solution. Right now, today, it will not help in restricting the number of millions of cars which are already out on the streets of a city like Mumbai. Also, the rich will buy the spots, the poor can't. So are you penalizing the people who cannot afford to buy a parking spot? Because the rich people essentially can have huge parking lots. They can buy parking lots as well and park their cars. So should they be allowed to then buy more? Also, why not put a cap per family? Because there are those families which may have 3 people but can afford to buy 10 cars. But what about a family of 6 people? They want to upgrade to 1 car. Should they be denied that 1 car in their family because they don't have a place to park it in? Well, that's the question. Well, let's go across to a person who is going to be helming this entire proposal. On his table right now, we have Pratap Sarnaik, who's joining us, the Minister of Transport of Maharashtra. Thank you so much, सरनायक जी, हमारे साथ बनने के लिए. The big question is कि इसका लॉजिक क्या है कि नो पार्किंग नो कार? बिकॉज बहुत लोग ये बोल रहे हैं कि इसके ऑब्वियस प्रोज तो है मगर इसके नेगेटिव्स भी बहुत सारे हैं. आप पहले रैशनल समझाइए, आप क्यों सोच रहे हैं ऐसा एक पॉलिसी लाने से यू कैन डीकंजेस्ट अ सिटी लाइक मुंबई फॉर एग्जांपल?
नहीं, देखिए ये है. सबसे पहले मैं आपको ये बात बताना चाहता हूँ कि ये पॉलिसी नहीं है. ये सिर्फ हम ये सोच रहे हैं कि देखिए एमएमआर रीजन में, खासकर महाराष्ट्र में जो भी बड़े शहर है वो शहर में दिन ब दिन पार्किंग की समस्या बढ़ती जा रही है. और खासकर हमारे मुंबई ठाणे में ये जो रास्ते हैं वो रास्ते पे की ट्रैफिक की समस्या बहुत बड़े पैमाने पे आ रही है. तो हम ये सोच रहे हैं कि अगर पार्किंग अगर कहीं पे नहीं मिलती है तो उन लोगों को कार लेने का अधिकार नहीं बनता है. हमारे यहाँ पे बड़े बड़े बिल्डिंगें बन रही है, वहाँ पे 1 BHK फ्लैट रहता है, वहाँ पे लोग 2 पार्किंग गाड़ियाँ अपनी रख देती है. 2 BHK वाला 3-3, 4-4 गाड़ियाँ लेता है. कुछ गाड़ियाँ कहीं पे रेंट से लगा देता है और सोसाइटी के प्रीमाइसेस में जो ओपन स्पेस रहती है वहाँ पे गाड़ी पार्क करती है. तो अंदर आने के लिए एम्बुलेंस के लिए या फायर ब्रिगेड के गाड़ी के लिए भी जगह नहीं छोड़ते हैं. रास्ते पे कहीं पे भी गाड़ी पार्क कर देते हैं अपना ही रास्ता समझ के. तो वहाँ पे ट्रैफिक की समस्या बहुत बड़े पैमाने पे आता है. तो हम ये सोच रहे हैं कि जो भी लोग अगर गाड़ी रजिस्ट्रेशन करेगा तो उसके पहले वो पार्किंग का प्रूफ उसको दिखाना पड़ेगा, या तो सोसाइटी का रजिस्ट्रेशन दिखाना पड़ेगा कि यहाँ पे हमने गाड़ी पार्क करने का बिल्डर से परमिशन ले लिया है और बिल्डर को जो है उसका भुगतान कर दिया. या तो लोकल कॉरपोरेशन है, लोकल बॉडी है, उनके पास से हम पे एंड पार्क जो पार्किंग प्लाजा रहती है वहाँ पे हमने प्रीमाइसेस ले ली है पार्किंग के लिए. या पे एंड पार्क का जो रोड होता है कॉरपोरेशन का उसमें उन्होंने स्पेस ले ली है. उसका अलॉटमेंट लेटर अगर हमें मिलेगा तो हम गाड़ी रजिस्ट्रेशन करके देंगे. ऐसा पॉलिसी लाने का हम सोच रहे हैं. मुझे ये पता है कि ये पॉलिसी में बहुत सारे लोगों का फायदा भी होगा, मगर बहुत सारे लोग विरोध भी करेंगे। बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियां हैं जो कार गाड़ियों का प्रोडक्शन करती है, वो भी बोलेंगे कि अरे हमारी जो बिक्री है वो कम होगी, हमारे पास से अभी कार लेना लोगों ने बहुत ही कम कर दिया क्योंकि पार्किंग की समस्या है महाराष्ट्र में। मगर कहीं ना कहीं ये जरूरत है लोगों की, तो वो करना ही चाहिए, ऐसा मेरा मत है।
बहुत लोग आपके साथ सहमत रखते हैं कि ये दिस इज परहैप्स अ स्टेप इन द राइट डायरेक्शन। इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, स्पेशली जो मुंबई में हमने हालत देखी है। अदर सिटीज ऑल्सो आर फेसिंग सिमिलर प्रॉब्लम्स सच एज बेंगलुरु, इवन इन दिल्ली, नोएडा, ऑल ऑफ दीज एरियाज आर सीइंग दीज प्रॉब्लम्स। मगर सरनायक जी, आप ये बताइए, जो कुछ लोग बोल रहे हैं, देयर आर मिलियंस ऑफ कार्स व्हिच आर आउट ऑन द रोड्स ऑफ मुंबई टुडे। ये जो आप सोच रहे हैं प्रपोजल लाने के लिए, वो इन द लॉन्ग रन में बेनिफिट, मगर आज के दिन हाउ विल इट बेनिफिट?
नहीं, देखिए डिसिप्लिन हो जाएगा। अभी तो पे एंड पार्क की बजाय लोग कहीं पे भी गाड़ी लगाते हैं। लोग ऐसा समझते हैं कि ये जो कॉर्पोरेशन का रास्ता है हमारा ही है, हमारी खुद की प्रॉपर्टी, हम कहीं पे भी कार पार्क कर सकते हैं। एक साइड में पार्क भी नहीं, दोनों साइड में पार्क करते हैं तो ट्रैफिक, एक गाड़ी आने के लायक भी रास्ता छोड़ते नहीं है। और दूसरा ऐसा है कि हम जो बिल्डिंग में रहते हैं वो बिल्डिंग के बाहर का रास्ता भी हमारा समझते हैं हम लोग। जो छोटी बिल्डिंगें हैं वो बिल्डिंग में अगर कार पार्क की जगह नहीं रहेगी तो लोग रात को भी मेन रोड पे गाड़ी पार्क कर देते हैं। तो ऐसा भी नहीं है हम कहते कि बाबा चलो ये फ्लैट सिस्टम जिसके पास है वही लोग गाड़ी ले पाएंगे। तो हम ये भी सोच रहे हैं कि झोपड़ी में रहने वाला भी इंसान है, उसको गाड़ी लेने का हक है, क्योंकि लोकशाही है हमारे देश में। तो वो अगर लोकल अथॉरिटी से अगर पार्किंग स्पेस खरीद लेता है या रेंट पे लेता है तो उसको भी हम अनुमति दे देंगे अलॉटमेंट लेटर देख के। और साथ ही में हमारा ये कहना है कि हर कंट्री में ये सिस्टम है, तो हमारे देश में क्यों नहीं। आज इतने साल हो गए हम ट्रैफिक की समस्या का हल करने में नाकामयाब हो गए, तो कुछ ना कुछ तो डिसीजन हमें लेना पड़ेगा। और ये भी मैं जानता हूँ एज ए मिनिस्टर करके लोग मुझे बोलेंगे कि बहुत गलती कर रहे हैं प्रताप सरनायक, क्योंकि ये मिनिस्टर बन गया और ये रूल लेके आया, मगर ये हमारे लिए नहीं कर रही है, भविष्य के लिए हम सोच रहे हैं।
सरनायक जी, डू स्टे ऑन विद अस, आप बने रहिए हमारे साथ। लेट्स गेट इन सम ऑफ द व्यूज ऑफ द people. What do people think about it? हमारे बहुत सारे times now के viewers हैं who are giving us a call right now. We are asking them some very simple questions. Will the rule only benefit the rich? Putting a band-aid on bullet wound, is it? By this knee jerk, as many have called it, this knee jerk reaction? Should there be a cap on the per family number of cars that is allowed to keep as well? Also, should your own city have this rule, this new proposal that the Maharashtra government is mulling? Those are the questions we are asking you, the viewers. We have our first viewer calling in. Jagdish is calling us from Bengaluru, one of the most crowded cities. Jagdish, what do you think? I'd request all our viewers who are giving us a call, please put your television sets on mute. You'll be able to hear us better. We'll be able to hear you as well. Go ahead, Jagdish.
Yeah, I'm from Bangalore. Definitely, I support this new policy. People will not provide parking for two-wheeler, but they will be having 3-4 cars, those second-hand cars. Whole street looks like a scrap yard. This is the problem in Bangalore.
In fact, let me get in another word. There is someone who is calling us from Mumbai. We have Dr. Chari calling us from Mumbai, our viewers. Dr. Chari, set to be implemented in your city now. Do you agree?
No. Yeah, listen, I'm from Matunga, Mumbai. In Matunga, there are high-rise building coming up. And everybody has been allotted parking space, but they're all lift parking, not ramp parking. Majority of the people do not want to park through the lift because it takes time, they park on the street. I want Sarnaik Sahib to attend to this and penalize them heavily for parking on the road in spite of having parking space.
Well, that's also an important point that you've made, Dr. Chari. Appreciated you joining us here on the show. We have Hina who's joining us from Kandivali. Go ahead, Hina. What do you think?
Madam, I would like to say that we live in a society at Worli, right, wherein by there is a space and 2 flats, like each flat has got two cars, parked over there in the parking place, the building parking place, right? Now the thing is, if you have 2 flats and 2 cars, right? So they can keep 1 car outside and 1 car they can be packed. Now
Right.
when there is limited car parking, right? There was no need
Absolutely.
of, making up an office recently so that no cars are parked and then you don't come and sit down in the office also, which is Tuesday given the time limit. So what is the point of making that office and, troubling the people over there?
These are practical problems. Yes, that's an important point. Perhaps the Maharashtra government is going to be looking in these solutions, these practical problems also of that. Let me quickly go across to John, our viewer calling us from Bengaluru. Go ahead, John.
Madam, I have some few quick points to be made. One thing is this is a very good move to be taken by the Maharashtra government. See the roads actually calling from Bangalore, the roads are so pathetic. To go 1 kilometer distance, it takes a long. There's no room for ambulances. And what I say is, old vehicles has to be phased out. Instead of punishing the common man, I think we should start with hotels. Hotels, if they don't have place for parking,
Right.
the license should be cancelled. Okay, thank you.
Well, these are alternative suggestions also which are coming in. Thank you so much, John, for joining us. We also have Gaurav, our viewer, calling us from Mumbai. Go ahead, Gaurav. Gaurav, if you can hear me. Well, looks like there's a bit of a problem there. Well, that's unfortunately all the time we had in this show to have this call-in segment. Thank you so much, Mr. Sarnayak, for joining us here on Times Now. It's important to have your views. It's an interesting proposal, and of course, many are saying this is going to be the way forward when it comes to decongesting Maharashtra. But will other cities, other states also follow soon? We'll have to wait and see.